Hi, my name is Cindy Rang, and this is my oldest son, Jordan, and we're going to talk to you today about how to service your machine. My daughter and I have owned and operated a busy quilt shop in Washington State for over 20 years. We have a retreat center, an active YouTube channel, and a large pattern line featuring our creations. My two sons work on machines. One daughter-in-law is our videographer, and the other is a long-arm quilter. We are a family that love each other, we laugh together, and every once in a while we get some work done. We have a crew that are saints for their efforts at keeping us on track. Thanks for joining us on our wild ride. Okay, so before I turn it over to Jordan, I just want to talk for just a second about two things. Jordan is going to cover the basics for what you can do with your machine to clean your machine and make sure that it's running properly. And then he's also just going to give you a little tutorial about what happens behind the scenes when you take your machine to a technician.
Make it naked.
Make it naked. You can tell he's my son. But I want to talk to you for a minute about purchasing a machine. People ask us all the time on our videos, well, what do you sew on? We sew on a FAF. We've been FAF dealers, and I learned to sew on a FAF treadle, actually. And so we like FAF machines, but what we tell everybody is the machine that you should purchase is whatever your local quilt shop sells. The reason for that is because what is most important with your purchase is your service, because the warranty is with the shop, with who you purchased your machine from. And so in order to sell machines, whether it's Husqvarna, Viking, FAF, whatever it is, they have a certified technician, and they have to have that in order to sell the machine. So for the 20-year warranty that you'd have on a FAF, this is who you're going to deal with every time. So if you go and you buy a sewing machine at a big box store,
Walmart or Costco, wherever.
Costco, any of those places, the reason that you're paying less is because you don't have a service technician. You have nobody who's going to manage that warranty. And so that's why FAF does not sell at Costco. That's why Viking doesn't and Husqvarna doesn't. If you buy a brother there and then you take that brother to your local brother dealer, they'll service it for you, but it's not part of that service contract. It's not part of that warranty because you didn't purchase it from them. So anyway, we just want to make sure that people understand that there is a difference. And so it is nice to purchase that warranty, because if anything goes wrong at all, Jordan is very, very good about knowing what's wrong with the machine and being able to fix it. But if something weird, and if it's right out of the box, we've had I think 2 different machines that have come back within 3 months. He just takes it, he sends it right back, and they get a brand new machine. And again, that's the service that you deal with your local dealers also. So that's, I just wanted to put my little 2 cents in there about why it's important to have a service technician, somebody who's trained and certified to be able to deal with your machine.
And one other thing is that when you purchase a machine, and if you buy one from a big box store, a lot of times what happens is when you take that machine to a technician to get repaired at your local quilt shop, the fees associated with that repair or service will oftentimes be more than the cost of that original machine.
That just happened recently, because I think the repair fee was $189 and they spent $100
on
for the machine.
And they told us to just keep the machine. So.
And I think we threw it away. Because that's the other thing, is that you also, one other last thing about machines is that it is important when he takes off the front of this machine. Is this the one you're going to do? Maybe you should be all metal parts. That's a really important thing, because these machines are meant to last for 20 years, are meant to be repaired if something happens. Sometimes if you're only paying $100 for a machine, it's because it's plastic parts, and they know that it's not going to last, and that's just going to be a throwaway machine. And so that's what's important. So before I turn it over to him, I want to show you guys one more thing, and that's these little things. I just want to show you how to make these yourself. He's going to use these, and so I want you to see this. We've been making these for years and years, and then I saw, maybe, I don't know, a year ago or so, that somebody is making them and selling them. It's actually a notion that quilt shops can sell on their Notion wall, and I'm just going to show you the secret. I know, and they're like $5, and you get like 8 of them, and they're short, so it's kind of weird. So I'm just going to show you how to save some money. So you can use this, or if you have access to cotton tip applicators, it's kind of the same idea. But all this is you can just buy, these are just stir sticks. So you just buy your little coffee stir sticks, which of course they have a hole at both ends, and then these are just dollar store chenille. And what you want to do is you cut your chenille into 3 pieces. It is important that you do a large piece of chenille. The reason it's important is that a couple times,
All too often,
people have brought their machine in and they were cleaning it, and the little piece popped off. And it was stuck down in the machine. So they had to bring it in so Jordan could fish it out. So he tells them, instead of doing a short little piece, do a long piece. And that way, if it pops off, you can still reach in there and grab it and pull it out. So that's why. And then all you do is you just fold this together, and then you just put it in that end. And that's what gives you this little cleaning tool. So it works really well. We use them all the time. We give them out whenever anybody asks. And we put them in all of our cleaning kits. And anyway, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jordan, and I just wanted to be able to introduce them, and we're very proud of him. He does just a really nice job, and so we're glad to have him here to be our technician. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over.
Okay, so just a couple of things real quick of what it is you're going to need to be able to do a service on your own machine. So first and foremost, you need your stir stick utensil that you've made, or a Q-tip. You'll need your oil. I recommend using Solar's Aid. It lasts a lot longer. You'll need some forceps. Plastic, metal is either way is fine. Just be careful with metal ones that you're not pushing too hard or on anything and damaging parts inside your machine. Some form of a poker. I have a dental tool that I love using. This thing works great. And then a flat-headed screwdriver. Your flat-headed screwdriver is simply only going to be used to be taking out your little screws on your stitch plate. Okay, so for this video, we're going to be using a Singer stylus, a little home machine. And now, to begin our cleaning, what we're going to do is we're just going to take out our 2 little screws that I've already removed out of the machine. We're going to pop off our little cover. Now in here, we have our bobbin and our bobbin case. We're going to remove our bobbin, set it off to the side. Take our bobbin case out, also moving it off to the side. Now in here, you'll notice that there's a hole inside this machine in the bottom of the what is called the hook assembly. This hole usually has a wick inside of it. It looks like a piece of cotton or felt or whatnot that after it gets frayed looks like it's not supposed to be there, when in fact it is. This one is missing, which is not a huge deal. What we do is we just add a couple of drops of oil in there when we're ready. Now, to clean our machine, sometimes you can use a little bit of air. Light, short bursts of air is recommended, because if you have a machine that has a lot of computerized parts in it, you do not want to create a bunch of static electricity that will harm your machine. Now, if you are going to use your air, you'll want to blow from the right side of your machine towards the left, because there's nothing on this side here that you're going to damage necessarily. So, and you want to blow down and underneath, so to push all of your lint up and out. And then again, short, small bursts of air works the best. Sometimes things will get lodged in different areas of your machine, in which case this guy comes in very handy. You'll just stick him in there, and you'll get all of your lint out of there. Now, when you're using a tool like this or a cotton swab, if you're using a cotton swab, you want to put a little dab of oil on there. A couple of drops is great, and that's to help grab your lint like what this guy does. And you don't want to force it or push it in anywhere. You just let it go where it's going to go. Get out what you can get out. Just shove it in everywhere and anywhere. Again, not to force it, because if this guy gets stuck in here, you want to be able to get this guy out. So once you're done doing all that, you want to get inside your hook assembly as well. Get all your lint and everything out of there. Now, once that's all completed, you'll take your bobbin case. This one happens to be plastic. A lot of them aren't anymore. You'll take your air and you'll blow this guy out. Now, you want to make sure to blow out really well this metal part here. This is your tension assembly for your bobbin case. Once that's all done, you'll put your bobbin case back into the machine. Now, when you put a top load, is what I call this, a top load bobbin case into a machine, you have a little thumb guy on the edge of your bobbin case, and right here is a little spring. You want to make sure that that thumb is up against the spring for when you place your stitch plate back on. If those two guys aren't touching, this guy will not go on properly. Now that we're here, we have our bobbin case back into our hook assembly. We'll take our oil. I add just a drop of oil, 10 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 2 o'clock. Once that's all completed, we rotate the machine around a little bit just to get that oil all distributed across the hook assembly. And then make sure rotate the machine around so our needle is in the up position. It doesn't have to be all the way up, just up enough to where we can get our stitch plate on. Take and put our stitch plate on. Again, making sure that your bobbin case assembly is rotated all the way counterclockwise as far as it will go, up against that spring. You'll put your screws in. Once both of your screws are in and as tight as you like, preferably not man tight, you put your bobbin case in, or your bobbin into your bobbin case, sorry. You will thread your bobbin case. Place your little window back on. And then thread the top of the machine and you're ready to go. Okay, and now I've got a performance icon in front of me here, and I'm going to show you what you can expect from a cleaning from your technician at your local dealer. So, for dramatic purposes, naked. Now, doing this on a machine that I do not sell voids the warranty automatically. I have not even messed with anything in here. All I have done is removed the covers, and that automatically will void any warranty on a brand new machine if not done by a trained individual for that brand. So, a technician such as myself, when doing a cleaning, a repair, whatever, takes it down at least this far. Now, we're just talking about cleanings today, so what I do is I inspect the head unit, the head assembly. This is all the head unit and your threading, or the tension assembly for the top thread. I inspect everything. I can go through and we can blow this out a little bit. Now, when I talk about blowing them out, I'm obviously saying used canned air. A lot of people might use an air compressor. Now, I don't necessarily recommend that, but if it's the only thing that they have to have a air water separator on them to not damage any components with water. So I'm always going to recommend using canned air. Now, the reason why we need to be careful using canned air, again, like in the earlier section of the video, are any electronical parts. All of these things are very, very susceptible to failure due to static electricity. So a technician will go through and inspect everything, make sure everything's working properly. I can plug in the face frame that I just took off and plug the machine into an outlet, and I can test everything while watching it. After I've inspected everything on the top, I'll move and I'll inspect everything on the bottom, making sure that everything's working correctly. The cutters, the hook assembly, your timing is correct. So throughout all of this also, I'm inspecting the bottom and all of that. I can use the canned air a little bit through here, blowing everything out. Let's see what we get real quick, actually. Probably not much. No. But now in here, now in the earlier video that we were showing, you can only get to that section right there. I now have access to everything. So I can take this little tool and I can get it into every other nook and cranny that you wouldn't be able to get to at home without removing all of the covers and voiding the warranty. I recommend doing this at least once a year, if not more. It all kind of depends on how much you sew. If you sew on it every single day, I might recommend it twice a year, every 6 months, getting it done and looked at by a technician. If you're a hobby quilter, I would say at least once a year, having a technician go through and make sure everything's working great for you. And really quick, I just want to zoom in and show you that some machines are equipped with a little felt deal, and if you can't get it out easily, just leave it there and ask your technician about it. One key thing to remember is that if your machine does have a thread cutter on it and it is not cutting the thread, it is a clear indication that your machine may need to be cleaned or serviced. Now, you can service your machine on your own the way we were showing earlier. If you cannot get to your thread cutter and clean it effectively, please take it into your technician and have them service the machine for you. Another thing to remember is that if your machine has a needle threader, whether it's manual or automatic like this one, that your needle needs to be in the all the way up position, so that way this little filament can go through the eye of the needle, grab your top thread, and suck it in through the eye of the needle, threading the machine for you. I catch a lot of failed parts that haven't come to fruition with the owner. So a lot of times the technician will find, hey, this part's going out, or it is out, it's not working correctly, we need to replace it. If it's a warranted item, it's even better for you. So in any case, by having a technician look at it at least once a year and do this kind of a cleaning to the machine, you're going to ensure that the machine lasts you a much longer time. Now that I've shown you how to service your machine at home without voiding your warranties, and shown you kind of what to expect when you take your machine to your certified tech, being the certified technician for the Fabric Patch through FOF, I would like to remind you that the right tool for the job is very important. Most importantly, using the correct oil is very important. I find all too often that people are using either an insufficient oil or old oil, damaging their machines and their projects. One big thing to remember is that the color of your oil should be clear. If it is discolored at all, any kind of brown, it is bad. Throw it away. You will damage both your machine and your quilt and your fabric, the thread, everything if you use a tarnished oil. I recommend all three of these. Some of them we can ship, some of them we cannot due to size and that they leak or have the potential to leak. I, for the longest time, used nothing but Sewer's Aid, being that I can use it a whole lot less. You can use it a whole lot less often. You don't have to put a drop of oil in your machine every single time you change out the bobbin. It is very, very good oil, and I love this oil. And one little tidbit I would like to leave you all with is to oil your machine regularly. 9 times out of 10, a lot of the issues that I see, it is resolved with a light cleaning and an oiling of your bobbin case. I hope that you found this video helpful, and if you have any questions at all, feel free to contact the shop. And thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching our video. We invite you to leave a comment, hit the like button, or better yet, subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. You can also visit our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or Pinterest pages, or find all of those things and our online store at fabricpatch.net.